everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Canada Day Eve. I think it's a big deal. To anyone else in Canada, happy Canada Day. 158th. Is it the 158th this year? 158th birthday this year of Canada. So that's exciting.
Canada's a big place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big place.
Everybody doesn't know everybody.
And Canada and Calgary is nowhere near Toronto.
I didn't think it was close. I thought it was in Toronto.
Calgary. I came across, I was going to post it somewhere, but I don't know if people would find it offensive. But there's this Canadian comedian guy, and he does these little shorts on TikTok and stuff. And he's like, let's talk about what the people from different cities are named. Vancouver's are Vancouverites. Edmontons are Edmontonians. He goes, Torontonians are a-holes. Like, I am one, and I don't find it offensive. So what is everybody reading? Let us know in the comments. We'll start with us. Tiffany, what you reading?
I'm reading the last one in the Libby Klein the Poppy McAllister series by Libby Klein, Silent Nights or Murder. And then I'm reading a romance book. It's a hockey book. It's called Kane. It's number in the Arizona Vengeance series.
Did y'all write that down?
Yeah. Very technical.
We have all the facts here.
Clear as a whistle.
That's right. Clear as mud.
I have goals for tonight, and that is to finish this Star Trek.
Yay!
Number 1. I'm on the last story, but I'm on page. It's either, I can't remember which side I'm on, so 130 or 131 out of 136. So
you're gonna have it done. Good girl.
Yeah, of course,
I've got to get it finished today. So it's the last day, and I need to get it finished.
How many of you read for Book Trek?
I've read this, and then I read one the novelization, the Star Trek movie novelization.
Sorry, my mail guy just delivered me a package.
Ooh,
Thanks,
very
Gary.
nice.
So basically 2, and then I've watched a lot of Star Trek, like the original.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
And Book Trek goes through the whole summer, so I can.
Oh, does it? Oh, I thought it was only June. Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. Excellent. That's it. You're just gonna and you said you were gonna do something with the video too.
Yeah, and then I also have.
I'm just not used to you only having one book. I'm confused.
I also have this over here.
The Last
too.
Kids on Earth.
Yeah, it's The Last Kids on Earth and the Doomsday Race. It's number 7. There's 9 out in this series, I think. So I'm getting closer to the end. But I think I seen where there was another one coming out. So it's not over. It's just I'm getting closer to being caught up.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It's the fun one because it's really easy to read, but I also listen to the audio, but it's got a lot of...
Oh, that's awesome.
Ooh, the graphics are nice, yeah.
Yeah, they're really fun.
It's awesome.
And the audiobook's fun because the narrator's really has... It seems like he has a lot of fun with it and stuff.
Oh, that's fun. Speaking of audio, I am listening to... I can never remember the title of it. Some Enchanted Eclair by Bailey Cates is the 4th in the bakery, Magical Bakery. 4 books in, and I don't love the narrator. It's Amy Ruminate. And usually I really like her narration for other books, but for this one, for whatever reason, it's not my favorite. So I've been tandem reading it and listening to it on audiobook. So I might do some digging tonight, so I might listen to it on audio. We shall see.
See if I can remember the narrator's name. Is C.S.E. Cooney. I think.
Okay.
Because it's I'm like, she did the one series, I think that you like, Tiffany, the Heather Blake one, which the potion.
Oh, the magic potions.
But she was so Southern.
Oh, yeah, magic.
Over the top Southern in that series that I was like, I don't think I like this narrator. But she's the narrator for the Witch City series that I absolutely love by Carol J. Perry. So it's obviously she was really Southernifying herself doing that.
Oh, for sure.
But that's not how she actually, speaks.
Right.
So it's I actually like her when she's not doing that.
And I mean, that's
interesting, right?
Is the series, the Magic Potion series. It's set in Hitching Post, Alabama, the wedding capital of the world.
Yeah.
And it is meant to be very Southern. She calls her like spouse by his, like, it's very Southern. So I'm not surprised that she was that like
Went over the top with
over
it.
the top with it.
Yeah, but that
It
was
was
my
very much
first
part of the
experience
series
with
that way.
her. That was my first experience with her, was that
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, really over the top done.
Yeah, she's a lot. She was a lot in that series. Yeah, the character is a lot.
Yeah, I liked the series overall.
Oh, it's a
but
great
the-
series. Very
but the
underrated. I would highly recommend it.
narration
I don't
was
think
a
it's
little
ever talked
out
about.
there.
But no, the narration can definitely almost make or break something.
Oh,
You
so
know?
it's just funny that, like you said, you like that narrator in other books, but you don't like her in that one. And it's just how she's reading it or how she's.
Well, and I have the same thing because I like the Campers and Criminals narrator,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but she also narrates the book retreat,
Mm-hmm.
and she sounds like she is absolutely on the verge of a mental breakdown at any second.
Yeah,
when
see, she is
the
not
book
a
retreat.
favorite of mine at all. I don't even like her with the Campers and Criminals. I just go with it with that series, the Ellery Adams series, but
Yes.
I don't like
Yeah,
her.
I mean, like, I just listened to the last one and I was like, I was like, are you okay? I mean, like, and
Oh,
she's not
Johanna
that way
Parker.
at
Yes.
all. She's not that way at all in the Campers and Criminals. Doesn't sound like that at all.
And she narrated the Sookie Stackhouse series.
Oh,
Somebody else
really?
said it. I won't listen to it.
Guys, I'll be a second. Hold on. Sorry.
I read the books in that I read. I didn't read very far. I only read up to maybe book 4, and then I had started watching the True Blood series, and then it was getting really out there with and then I didn't like where it was going with Bill, and he was my favorite Vampire Bill, mess with Vampire Bill. And I was like, I can't read this if something bad is going to happen to Vampire Bill, so I quit.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that series, but is Suki Stackhouse the Aurora Tea Garden too?
But yeah.
Is that the same author?
What?
Charlene Harris.
Oh, that's who I'm thinking.
Shirley.
Yeah, no.
Charlene Harris. That's not the same series or same person.
No, I don't think so.
I didn't hear what you said, like it was broke up or I was.
The Aurora Tea House?
Yeah, I think that's the same one.
Is it really?
Mhm.
I didn't realize that she wrote.
Okay, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yes, Aurora Tea Garden. You are correct.
Yeah,
My
she has
apologies.
that
Yes.
one, and she has another one that's kind of cozy-esque mystery type thing, I think.
Hmm.
A Harper something or something.
I'm on her Audible page right now. I'm just looking here. Yeah. But yeah, I know. I like Johanna Parker. When I first heard her in Campers and Criminals, I'm like, hold on a second. This is Sookie Stackhouse. This is very different from a.
Yeah,
vampire.
I don't think I could have handled that because in my head that would have not been Stookie because I
Right.
had read it, and so
Mhm.
I'd be like,
Well, it was the same. I was listening to something. I can't remember what audiobook it was, but it was the narrator for Kate Burkholder, and I'm like, Kate, what are you doing narrating this book?
Oh, Callie Boulet or something like that.
yeah.
Something
Mm.
like that.
Mm.
Yeah, she does a ton of different ones. And so I'm always like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Where is this a crossover? These
Yeah.
yeah. And then I'm like, no.
I can't remember the narrator. I think the one is Saskia Maravelli or something like that, but she goes by another name when she does less spicy romance novels, and when she does higher spice, she goes by a different name as a narrator, which I think is actually kind of a cool idea, like a pen name.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same as like I guess a pen name. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people will read stuff based on the narrator.
Mm.
Like, oh, I really like this narrator, so I want to listen to everything that they narrate. So they kind of switch it up so they don't like.
Yeah, they get that one and be like, what?
You're listening to an Amish romance and you're like, I really like this narrator. Oh, hello, Tessa Bailey. You know, like,
Right. Or, I mean, if the person reads children's books but also narrates for any kind of,
Yeah, I would.
slightly spicier or more
read it
adult. Yeah.
separate,
That's we could have an entire discussion on just like audiobook stuff. Let's jump into the comments before we spend the entire time talking, because I could talk about that all day. Pat says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Pat. And she says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Our cheerleader, Pat. She says, I'm not sure what I'm listening to tonight. I'm still crocheting the baby blanket for my roommate. That is wonderful. Can't wait to see it finished. Michelle, good evening, beautiful ladies. I'm currently reading Winter in Paradise by Elaine Hildebrand. And finishing up What Have You Done by Sherry LaPena. Having chicken salad on a croissant for dinner. Oh, that sounds delicious.
That sounds really good.
Anything on a croissant is delicious, actually.
And it's nice because it's no cooking for the heat. Smart.
Right?
Smart.
Very. Pat says, my girlfriend went to an estate sale over the weekend and bought 15 intrigue books from February 2017 through September for $10. Oh, that's fantastic.
Nice.
Good purchase. And Ginger says, hey, guys. Hey, Ginger.
How are you doing?
She says, I'm reading Cold Case Peril by Maggie K. Black, Lemon-Inspired Suspense, and also starting The Ministry. I actually have that book from NetGalley on audio to get to in July, so I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
That I'm being accepted for the Harlequin audiobooks, like the category romance audiobooks are very exciting.
That is exciting.
Something about it's about category and everything. Okay. Has Jamie Jo Wright wrote for Love Inspired before, or is this her very first one?
Might be her very first one.
Because it totally threw me on. I was looking for, July new releases, and she had a Love Inspired Suspense, I think.
All right, I gotta check this out now because now I'm curious.
And I was like, she wrote, because I see all her other ones because they're usually dual timeline and everything, and kind of got a little spooky kind of thing going on and everything. You never know, is it supernatural or not? But she's a Christian author, and so it usually ends up being, not really too out there.
Yeah.
And that one, it kind of has a past and a present in it.
Okay.
Even the being a Love Inspired one, so I thought that was kind of cool. But it sounded really good.
I'm just looking here.
And
Joe Wright. Yeah, it is her first.
Okay, because that's what I was like, wow, that threw me off.
No, it's not.
Is it not? Okay.
She wrote. Oh no, that's from August of 2025. Yeah, that's just the box set. Yeah, that's her first.
Is it?
Yep.
I thought maybe because it's like, well, she's always wrote these others, and they've never been Love Inspired or connected with that, and so that's kind of cool that
that's very exciting, actually. Yes, because I've heard a lot about her books. I'm very excited to check that out.
Yeah, I always keep saying I need to read this author every time I talk about her books, and I've yet to do it. but anyway.
Hallelujah. Esther, I just finished The Beach House, book 1 of the South Carolina Sunset series by Rachel Hanna. We shall celebrate.
Yay.
I am starting the second Sunsets and Second Chances. Excellent.
Very nice.
Esther says, Sarah, happy Canada Day tomorrow. Thank you. Our city here is going to have a flag raising ceremony at our Veterans Park tomorrow. That's exciting. Nice. And Ginger says, Ministry of Time by Colleen Bradley for monthly book club at the library. Excellent. And Pat says, I am putting aside the crochet blanket to start reading Hot Combat by L. James, part of the Ballistic Cowboy series, 1690, February of 2017. Very good.
Oh, very cool.
Pat really likes the intrigue books. I'm so glad about that. Nadine says, hi, everyone. My goal is to finish The Fatal Folio by Elizabeth Penny, number 3 in the Cambridge Bookshop series. I've about 175 pages to read, am on Pacific time, and am retired so I can stay up all night.
Well, no.
I am off work tomorrow, so I can stay up all night. And by all night, I mean 10:30 p.m.
Listen, I have work tomorrow, but I'm an adult, so I can stay up till 9:30.
Yeah,
it's like Sarah doing a 24-hour readathon, but the 24 hours is over at 10:30. So
that's right. There's a time, man. There's a time. That's when the pumpkin hits me.
It's like it will resume in the morning when I wake up.
Absolutely will, and I'm not sacrificing sleep, and I never have.
Pat's comment right before that, L. James, does she write something else that's not category? I know that name.
Yes. You might be thinking L. Kennedy. L. James. No, she writes quite a bit. A lot of romantic suspense, Tiffany.
Okay. Maybe
But I think a lot of her stuff has been self-published. So you probably do know the name. I'm just looking at her fantastic fiction. She has a ludicrous
what was her name. I missed it.
L. James. ELLE.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I have too. I just wondered. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Lots and lots of good stuff. That's Barbara. Good afternoon, friends. Just took a makeshift shower. Still not allowed in the bathtub. Reading A Great Big Beautiful Life, eating chips and dip. I'm picturing in the bathtub reading the book and eating the chips and dip. When you can do that.
Absolutely.
Cajun says, hi, everyone. I'm reading Put Another Crime in the Jukebox, Sunny Side Up #2. That is an adorable title.
That, I can't wait to start that series by Misty Simon. It's a diner series. It looks so good.
And Jenny says, hi, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm planning my TBR. I'm quite excited for Christmas in July. Yay! Yes. I do really need to get an announcement video for that. That'll be done next week.
I was going to say, you're going to do something, right?
Dude, I am just also...
how am I supposed to plan the rest of my TBR that I haven't done yet if I don't know?
Just pick some category romance books that come out at Christmas that are, like Christmas themed. That's the gist of it. Plus we have to do like the Garb August videos. We're putting them out on the 8th of July, and I'm just like, I want to do something super creative this year, and I'm trying to think of something, so I'm like racking my brain for a video.
Those are hard whenever you try to be creative for some of those, and
some of them do them so good, like
I can't do that, so I give up, so I'm just gonna do
But I'm like, I said to Garrett, I'm gonna be at the hospital the day before, so a part of me wants to try and think of something that I can do there that's like kind of weird.
Biohazard.
Right? That's what I'm thinking. Like mask up and just,
This book is so trashy, it's biohazard.
Oh, I'll ask my doctor. 9 out of 10 doctors do not recommend that you read this book.
You should ask your doctor to do like a 1 minute long soap opera scene from like an ER or something like that. And then be like, this is actually from, and like hold up one of your like.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If only.
You could get them to hold up medical romance maybe or something.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Or you could just have Garrett be the doctor. We would never know.
Well, yeah, exactly. Nobody has to know the difference. That's what green screens are for.
Put a mask on them and they never know.
Amy says hello.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
You can have Garrett pretend to be a doctor and act like he's doing CPR and be like, wait, this trash isn't worth it. And you think it's a person the whole time because they're not really showing it. It's just showing him doing it. And then he holds up the book instead.
I love it. That is hilarious. I really do want to find something to do creative this year. It'll probably just end up being a normal, announcement video because that's what's going to happen in my life, unfortunately. Amy says, hello, I finished my June reads. Congratulations. I may start a July book, but for now I'm working on writing a Substack post. Fantastic.
Oh, I think we should celebrate.
Absolutely. It's the end of the month. Everybody's finishing stuff. Right. And Lisa says, hi, everyone. I am able to join tonight. Yay. Right now I'm working on typing the review of the book I did a short for earlier today, hoping everyone is staying cool. Agreed. Nita says, hi, everyone. Tonight I am reading Diva Goes Overboard by Krista Davis. Wonderful. Cav, hello, Cav. Happy Canada Eve. I'll be listening to The Soldier's Canine Companion by Belle Calhoun. Everybody's reading the Love Inspired Suspense. Well, I work on my July reading journal pages tonight. Fantastic. Just looked at the time. Okay. Kat says, happy Monday, friends. I am eating potato soup from Panera. I'm going to be listening to a podcast that my friend Kelsey is a guest on. Oh, that's exciting.
I love Panera soup. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. I haven't had Panera in so long.
I've never ate Panera.
Oh, it's so good.
Have you ever ate the St. Louis Bread Company? Okay.
Is it the same?
It's really the same place, but outside of St. Louis, they call it Panera. So I just wondered, but they have the best soups. Oh my gosh.
And I like the kitchen sink cookies that they have. They're like the size of my head.
So I've never been to St. Louis.
Oh.
Neither have I. Caden says to Anita, one of my favorite series. And Esther says there's thunderstorms about 40 minutes away. I think they came from us, Esther, because we had them.
We had some woolly looking clouds and then it sprinkled.
Because of course it did.
I was like, are we going to beat the rain home? Because it looked really bad. And then, yeah, just been cold.
Well, because I don't have a window or anything in my office. The only way I can see outside is if I go down the hall to the front door, right? And so this afternoon I got up to take a walk and I went, crap, it's dark and it's raining. Like, when did this happen? And Michelle says, hey, Kat, love Panera's potato soup. Yes. Oh, and Danielle reading An Scapegoat by Jana Rollins. And Annie says, hi-oh, I'm reading If Death Ever Slept by Rex Stout. Excellent.
Rex Stout reminds me of the little character, the mouse motorcycle. I don't know why. I know his name was Ralph, but there was something.
Mouse.
There was another character that's very close in name to that. I don't know. It just reminded me of it. I don't know.
I think if I'm wrong, is that a Narrow Wolf book that you're reading? I don't know. Is that who is Rex Stout?
The name sounds real familiar. Kristen says, hey, friends. Emily's here. Hi, everyone. I finished Left of Forever earlier today. 3.5 stars. Well done. Yay.
We shall celebrate.
And Emily says, dinner was Panda Express orange chicken, and I have a crumble cookie for later. Yum. I have been good not going to crumble cookies because they're just too expensive. I hate to say it, but they are. I love them, but they're a treat.
I have never been to one. I don't know if there's one around here. I don't know if they do.
They have a Canada Day one out right now, and I'm just stopping me from going over. And actually,
flavor is that? Maple syrup?
No, surprisingly, it should be. It's like a shortbread cookie with vanilla icing and like red sprinkles. It's actually kind of boring, to be honest. If you think about it,
I would have thought it would have had a maple leaf on it,
or like Tiffany said, maple syrup, something maple, right? But actually, Tim Hortons put out a Canada Day donut. So it's what we call a vanilla dip or a sprinkle donut. And it's got like the red and white sprinkles on it. But then it's got those Pop Rocks candies.
Oh, yeah.
So you get like the firework, like the popping. And it's actually quite creative. It was quite yummy, the two that I had. And Nisa Cajun loving it so far. Emily says, I'm currently reading Flight by Noelle Adams. In Flight by Noelle Adams. Wonderful. Nita says, I made chicken and mushroom casserole for dinner. That sounds delicious. Two of my favorite things. Angela, Willow Tree Crate. She says, hello, everyone. I'm going to switch between listening to Cheddar Late Than Dead by Linda Riley and Booked for Murder by JC. All of us are very pleased with all those picks.
Very good choices.
And Sarah says, good evening. I'm reading Stamped Out by Tanya Kappas. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Amanda says, hi.
Hi, Amanda.
And Kim says, reading Mystery at the Old Mill by Claire Chase. Maybe. Annie says, happy Canada Day, Sarah. I love Canada because I like all the books by Lucy Maud Montgomery. I'll take it. Emily says, I also figured if I read 50 pages a day, I can read The Lost Metal and The Wind of Truth before I have to go back to work. Fantastic.
You can do it.
50 pages is completely doable.
Good goal.
And Kristen says, I'm hoping to finish The Sacrifice by Rune Geppetto tonight. Started Flat Stanley Goes to Canada with Little Bro too. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, that's sweet.
Flat Stanley. I loved Flat Stanley when I was little.
Denise says, good evening. Good evening, Denise. And Kim says, it appears I'm only going to finish 16 books this month. This month, unless I can do one of my short postcard books. I got 16 is perfectly good. I think I hit 17 this month.
I haven't looked. I've trying really hard not to make it a competition anymore with myself, and I just don't.
No,
look
I know.
At the end of the month, I go and count it up, and then I'm like, oh wow, I read 17 books, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like, how many have I read? How many have I read? And I'm trying to be better.
Hey, if we read one book a year, we're still doing better than most people.
Yeah. Most people.
Pat yourself on the back for anything that you read.
Absolutely.
Over the course of a month or a year. But good for you. Good for you, Kim. Carmen says, hi, everyone. I'm reading Restaurant Weeks Are Murder by Libby Klein. Wonderful.
I'm reading Poppy McAllister, too.
Yay.
Don't mind the person behind the curtain, the evil one. The horns.
Shall we jump into a sprint, ladies?
Sure.
All right. So we will read to the top of the hour, everybody. Happy reading.
Happy reading.
So how did everybody do?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I got a Hallmark binge pass with one of my last Hoopla credits of the month. So I was busy watching one of the Hannah Swinson's.
Oh, fun.
A Zest for Death. It's number 8.
Nice.
Cool.
How about y'all?
I did the video thing that I was wanting to do, which is why I've had to pop off. And I think I read like maybe a page of that. While I was doing the computer stuff, though, I did listen to a little bit of this one. So
excellent.
Got a little in anyway.
Nice. And I read the first couple chapters of Claudia and Mean Janine, book number 7 in the Babysitters Club.
Yay!
So, yeah. I'm trying them out on Speechify just for a change. And I found a narrator or a voice, if you will, that sounds very, like, young and fun. And, so it kind of works really well with the characters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one of the things I do like about it. So, but yeah, so that was my big reading. And Barbara bringing us down. She says, oh no, not to bring everyone down, but pray for the people in Idaho town right next to Spokane. Yeah. One, I'm not going to say the word, who set fire to them, started shooting the firefighters.
Oh!
Jeez Louise, I hope everybody's okay.
Oh, that's terrible.
Hi everyone. Angel says, hi everyone. I am reading Down to the Wire by Laura Scott. For dinner, I'm having a quesadilla. Yum.
I did not get my Laura Scott in. I'm going to have to get it in.
That's okay. You picked one of the ones for next month, so you gotta.
Yeah, and both of those sound really interesting. The one that you said, oh, I might want to read.
Yeah, the pirate one.
Yeah, there's the audio with the AI voice on Hoopla.
Oh, really? Oh, fantastic. Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, I really want to get to that one.
So I was like, maybe that one. And they would work for retro, both of them. So, I mean, it was like.
I think the pirate one is 2014.
That way, yeah. But the ladies, I was trying to find some of her older stuff.
Yep.
But I couldn't find any audios from them.
Not on audio, no, and unfortunately.
I see there were a lot of them are on Hoopla, but I don't like reading off of Hoopla.
You know what? You and me both. I really do not like reading like books off of because I have to use my tablet, and I don't like using my tablet. I like using my Kindle, right? So, first world problems.
Which is where it would be nice to get one of those box things that are like bukus of money.
And I do really like the one that I have that was sent to me, and I'm not ungrateful because that was right. But because it's slightly older, it's not as bright. Right. And I think if I was to spend one and buy one for myself, I would just get it in black and white. I wouldn't do the color.
Yeah.
I feel like with the black and white, it tends to be sharper.
I want to message Criminale and be like, can you send one of those my way?
Yo, yeah, seriously. I mean, he must be like, he's probably going to open a shop. I'm not going to know that he gets sent.
I was like, can I get the hookup, please?
Right? I was just about to make a comment, but I won't because I don't need to start that rumor on BookTube. Poor Ollie. Ginger says, yes, it's the same author. Yep, confirming it's the same author.
Oh, okay.
Harper Connolly. And Cajun says, Sookie and Aurora are written by the same author. Yes, she also wrote Shakespeare's Landlord, which was the first I read by her. Oh, cool. And Cajun says, I actually like the Sookie books because, believe it or not, well, towards the end, not as much. My daddy liked them too. We were Team Bill.
See, I'm like Team Bill too. That's why I never went past book 4, I think, because I kept hearing all kinds of things, and I'm like, I don't want things, if I'm like, no, I'll just leave it here where I like the series still. I don't want it to go downhill.
Right?
For me. So it's the same with even the HBO series or whatever. I only watched, I think, up to maybe season 4 or 5, and then it was really getting way out there, and I was like,
you got further than me. I think I got to season 2. And then I went, I'm tapping out. Sugi Stackhouse series was set 60 miles from my house. That was from Ginger. Oh, interesting.
That's cool.
Toya says, hey, Sarah, Tiffany, and Storm, reading Beaches, Bungalow, and Burglaries.
Yeah.
Excellent. By the great and prolific Tony Kappas.
Very
Is that
true.
the first one?
Yep.
That's the first one. Yep.
Yep.
And Kim says to Barb, it is so sad. Yes. Yes, Garrett, dear.
I've only read 2 in that series, and the beaches, but I was like, that sounds like one I read.
I may have read that one, she says.
Hey, look, I made it to book 2 at least.
Yay! I'm 60 some of it. It's just funny because I now follow her on Instagram, right? And I swear, bless her heart, but every other day it's like, I got a new book coming out. I'm like, because of course you do. She is delightful. And she's so cute on Instagram. She's so much fun. Nina says, I haven't seen any new cozy mysteries listed on NetGalley lately. Yeah, I've actually, yes, now that you're saying that, has anyone noticed the lack of cozies available? I concur.
Well, when I was looking up the ones for July releases, I saw a few.
Mm-hmm. But there used to be a lot more, I feel.
Yeah, there used to be a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, I think they're trying to transition into the cozy millennial, somewhat mystery romance.
Right. Sadly. Lee says to Anita, I haven't seen a lot on there. I've seen more on Book Sirens lately. Yeah, maybe they're also moving platforms or something. I don't know.
Interesting. I don't even know what Book Sirens are.
Well, and the ones on NetGalley, most of those are traditionally published, where like Book Sirens is going to be like indie published or self-published.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think
Okay.
that might be some of the stuff too. Like maybe the publishers just aren't putting out as many like traditional ones. So like, because you see, like, I mean, there's like a ton on KU and all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
Is Book Sirens an app or a website or both?
well, I know it as a website, but it could be.
Is it like NetGalley?
Sort of, because you can request books, and if you get and then sometimes they'll send you emails being like, you are approved for these kinds, and it'll have a list or whatever, because it's like something, if you reviewed certain books before, so like you review mysteries, they might send you more mystery, like you're trying to get you to get one. But what the thing with them is you have like a date, a certain time to review them.
And then they go away or something.
Well, no, they want you to review it by.
Oh, yeah.
You might not get approved for another one if you don't
follow the rules. Yeah. No, I understand. That makes, I'm thinking Book Sparks, I think. That some of the authors that I work with, they send their book through Book Sparks to me. Like I get the email saying, oh, this author has a new book out and here it is. So there's lots of different websites like that for that kind of thing. And Barbara says to Nadine, where are you? I am in Washington. Cajun says, I can do a 24-hour readathon, just not consecutive 24 hours.
That's me, right?
Absolutely. Kim says, I can change my time zone on one of the Kindle Fire tablets. Oh, that's cool. Finish your book before July the 1st hits, because I'm now in Pacific time. And Pat says, I will be right back. I'm going to go for more iced tea. Yum.
It's one of those things where it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but it's not somewhere. It's still it's like 10 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, Cajun. Sarah, ask if you can film depositing the book. I have a sharps bin under my bathroom sink because I had to give myself the injections. Cajun, you're brilliant. Oh, I love that so much. The book right into the sharps bin.
Love it.
Oh, you guys are great. See, the brainstorming. It's fun. This is why group work is always important.
Too bad you don't have like one of those whole like outfit
hazmat things,
like you could be like putting it in the biohazard thing or whatever.
Michelle says to Sarah and Storm, are you planning any Christmas in July books? I'll also be working on my July TBR tonight. I am host. Do you want to co-host it with me, Stormy?
Sure.
Okay. We're co-hosting just now. You're hearing it now for the first time. Just in. Newsflash. Stormy and I are co-hosting a Christmas in July readathon the last week of July. Dates to be confirmed. But it will be... Okay, I'm going to let it be any romance. It doesn't have to be category. But maybe we'll have, okay, I'm just doing this on the fly here. Storm's probably going to smack me. We'll have you can.
2 prompts, category, non-category. There you go.
Category? No. Category? Yeah, category and non-category. There's your 2 prompts. Enjoy. And it's got to be taking place at Christmas. Have at it, people. Enjoy. I'll give you dates right now, too.
See, now you know how we brainstorm our other readathons.
Precisely. Now, the retro ends on the 19th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to run the 20th through the 26th of July.
Because I thought it was going to be right on the heels of.
Yeah, yours ends.
Funny because that's like how my readathons are doing right now. Because the summer camp ends on the 5th, mine starts on the 6th, and goes to the 19th,
and then we're going to go right into Christmas. And I'll even allow non-category to be a mystery. I will open it up to everybody. So there you go.
Ooh.
So if you want to read a Christmas mystery, you are participating in the Christmas in July readathon.
I've been working on one of my tubs, and I have books over there, and I'm like, I have a whole bunch of their Christmas intrigue books.
The Christmas
intrigue
intrigue
books. The only kind I have for category is Christmas intrigue books.
They're just so funny just because it's like, oh, it's Christmas. Yes, let's put Christmas lights on the cover. Or, you know what I mean? Like, they're just so much fun. Nadine says to Barb, I'm in Arizona. And Kat, hey, Kat, Michelle, I bought this Panera potato soup at Walmart. You guys get your Panera. Can you buy Panera at Walmart?
Oh. Yeah, they sell like Panera sells just like some like Olive Garden bottles up their salad dressing. Panera sells their soups.
That is so cool.
Are they just as good? Because like I've heard like when it comes to like the dressings and things like that, that even if it says like Chick-fil-A, it's not quite as good as if you was at Chick-fil-A. So like they don't want you to have their secret sauce quite, perfect. So
yeah, I don't know if it's the same or not, to be honest with you. I'm not sure.
I really want to go to Chick-fil-A. We have one 2 towns over, and every weekend we keep saying, let's go. And then on Sunday, Garrett says, let's go to Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, no, we can't. They're not open. But it's always on Sunday. It's never Saturday that we say these things. Hey, Sarah. Earlier, I had thunderstorms while at work that took half my power out. It was really weird. That is weird.
Yeah.
Annie says, Storm, yes, it is Neurowolf. I love Ralph and his motorcycle, Tiffany. I have the movie. The book is by Beverly Cleary.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For whatever reason, made me think of that.
Kay says, happy last day of June, Sarah, Tiffany, and Storm. Hope you are well. Finished my last book of the month, so just hanging with the fam and watching Gibbs. Excellent. And remember to hydrate, feed thyself, check the laundry, take meds, stretch, show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you sub and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. Thank you, Christine. Kim says, not a race. Just being retired, I should be able to do more. Kim, I was off. I spent 3 months in hospital with literally nothing to do. And that was the least amount of reading I've ever done in my entire life.
I think though, sometimes when retired, you just think about other things. You think that, and it's just like,
I can do this tomorrow.
My uncle moved to the lake because he was going to go fishing every day. And what did he do? He didn't go fishing hardly at all.
Give me that remote.
Best of intentions.
Yeah.
Yep. Even when I was off work, like after I got home, it's like, oh, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Then all of a sudden, now I got to go back to work. I don't have
It's like, man, I should have done that yesterday, but I didn't.
Right. Kim says, I have a tendency to go down the YouTube rabbit hole. This is accurate.
Yeah, that is my problem. When I say I get distracted when I'm talking on my dailies, that is what I mean. I get like, and it's like, oh, I'm just going to watch this one. And before you know it, you're like,
right? Good Lord. Nika, I think. Nika in Neverland. Happy Canada Day. I am reading a book written by my favorite teacher. Yesterday, I went to the Toronto Pride Parade. Yay!
Oh, nice.
Such a beautiful parade.
Your profile is adorable.
It really is. When I had to go down to the hospital on Saturday to pick up pills, they were setting everything up for the parade. And I'm like, just get me out of the city as quickly as possible. Not that I didn't want to go to the parade. I just didn't want to be with all the crowds of people.
Oh my God, I can hear you over here.
Crystal says, hi everyone, I am reading Twisted Games by Anna Hung, the second book in the series. Wonderful.
I don't know if anybody else, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
My husband eats bananas louder than anybody on the face of this earth. I don't know how you can make so many chewing noises eating a banana. I love him, but I'm like, that's what I just said.
He's like, I love you. Can you go eat that in the bedroom, please?
No, I did when I just
door.
said, you need to go eat that over there, because he came over and was like starting to say, and I was like, nope.
I am one of those people who there's an actual name for the condition. I can't listen to somebody else chew. It literally is like nails on a chalkboard to me. And there's certain people who are louder than others, and I just can't. Like, if I will get up and move.
But he doesn't chew anything else loud. I mean, maybe
I know, but
normal stuff like chips. But for whatever reason, I'm like, you don't even need to chew bananas. They're basically
my mom didn't like
baby food.
Certain noises. You couldn't pop your chewing gum. You couldn't crunch ice. And you couldn't chew chips either. And it's because she'd be like, will you stop it? And Dad's like, well, how am I supposed to eat it? You break into it. And you put the whole thing in your mouth and then keep your mouth closed.
I had Garrett's fine for whatever reason, Garrett. But I had this roommate at the hospital who was super. I mean, and you're not sitting beside the person, and I could hear her, and I had to be like, leave my dinner, and I had to go and sit in another room and wait till she was done because I just couldn't. It's an actual condition. I've looked this up. It's not just me.
Well, I have a hard time with certain. Like, it depends on what it is, but I think the older I've got, I inherited my mom's ears, because it's like, don't chew that.
I have a problem with sound too, but it's repetitive things. It's not it's not how high the volume is.
Like someone clicking a pen,
or if I go home, my mom has a wall clock in the room I sleep in, and I always hide it. She's like, you need to tell me where it was at. I'm like, no. You got to find it if you want it back. And then, so like at work for our sessions, we have to have a sound machine on to block out people's voices and if somebody leaves their sound machine on, it'll it always gets turned off, or like whatever, or I'll come along, turn it off. And my boss is always like, oh, Tiffany's been on the prowl. Because like the minute somebody's done with their session, if they don't turn off their sound machine, I'm like, for the love of all that's good and holy, please turn it off. Like, you don't need to torture me. Just turn on a water spout and let it drip or something like that, because I can't handle it.
Nope. And Brooklyn Reed says, hello, about to start my own reading sprint. Want to pop in and say hi. Well, thank you for popping in, and hello.
Hi.
And Pat says, gorgeous picture. Love the scene. Yep, that is Lake Louise in Banff National Park. Out west. That way. Where's west? Ambi says, hello from my creative corner of creation. And Kay is going to do Romper Room. Hi, Annie, Sarah, Kat, Nadine, Michelle, Kim, Cajun, Barbara, Lisa, Anita, Toya, Ginger, Angel, Carmen, Denise, Kristen, Amanda, Sarah, Angela, Emily, Danielle, Esther, and Cav. Amy, Jenny, Nika, Crystal, Ambi, Brooklyn. And Pat says, since I've been retired, I read more at night and early in the morning. I usually go to bed around 2 a.m. Only if I am deep into the book can I not put it down. You hear, it's like a joke, I stay up past my bedtime to read. I am not that person. Once I am tired, I am going to bed. I could be on the cliffhanger of a book. No, sleep. I
try sometimes. Like, I was 92% into a book yesterday, and I'm like, I just want to get this finished. I just want to get it finished. Oh, well, forget it. I'll finish it tomorrow.
Precisely. I can't. I just can't anymore. I wish I could be one of those people. Angela says, hello to Kay. Hope you're having a great evening. And Kat says, hello, hey, Christina. Emily said, finished my book, 3 stars. Okay, yay! We shall celebrate. And Emily says, hey, Christina. Barbara says, question, if anyone goes on my Goodreads and sees that I am... Question, if anyone goes on my Goodreads and sees that I'm reading 26 books right now, is that shocking? And then the reply, Toya says, Barbara, I've got 29. If that's shocking, then mine is worse.
Oh my goodness.
I've got books that I put on there in January that aren't finished yet. That's what's the bad thing, right?
It's fine. It's all good. It's just reading.
Yeah.
It's not brain surgery. Unless you're reading about brain surgery, and that's different. Kat says to Barbara, it looks like I'm reading 20 plus books, but that's only because I have not written my reviews yet. I'm currently reading 2 books. Cajun said, got to 71%, which means she's probably done now. Angela, I'm at 49% in Book for Murder. Toy got to 59%. Anita got to 52. Crystal got to page 159 in Twisted Games. Amy says, I didn't get my writing done because my grocery order came. Well, that's good. And not that you didn't get your writing done, but that you got your groceries. Angel says, I read to chapter 13. Carmen made it to 9% and found a book possibly for Stormy and Kat for Summerween. Ooh. When's that happening? Is that July?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
It's the beginning of July.
Okay.
I know that we were discussing when we're going to read like the next Beaumont book, and it had to be after the 12th of July because Kat was doing Summerween.
Gotcha.
So I know it's in the beginning. I just don't know the dates.
Kim says, looking at my Columbus postcards and taking pictures of some of them, I want the physical book so I can try to match places up. Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Ambi says, I will definitely pray for them. Yes. And Jenny says, hello to Kay. Carmen says, hello to Christina. Jenny says, still working on my TBR. It's an ever-going thing. It's fine. And chances are we're not getting to all the books anyway. We just like making lists.
I think my July TBR will be like, I may read these books, but I don't know yet. Because I don't know.
I know. Kim says, I think there were 3 deaths, 2 firefighters and the person. Ambi says, has anyone heard of Deck of TBR-a-thon? Is anyone participating? Chloe hosts that.
Chloe and Becky from Books and Bojo.
Thank you. Yes.
Something like that.
I have seen it, but you know me, I'm not a big participator, right?
Yeah, so, I've seen it, but I'm like, I can't do prompts in July.
There's no time for this.
I have too many other things going on. I can't do prompts for July.
We're reading our stuff for our own readathons here, right? And it's okay. I saw the Garbagus prompts for the bingo card. I'm like, how do I fit all these as category? And I think some of them are going to be pretty impossible. Killer animals doesn't really work. Annie says, got to page 26. Esther says, hey, Tiffany, you are like a spooky ghost going in and out all the time on the screen. It's true. She likes fading in and out.
Summerween, my friend.
Tiffany is dissolving on screen. It's almost like, where did Tiffany go? Angel says yes to Ambi and Carmen. Kim says, I actually did that when Kindle didn't have me reading a day that I did. Oh, okay. And Emily says, I have heard of Deck of TBR-a-thon. I'm not doing competitive readathon next month, given that I did the amazing readathon this month, which was intense. I'm going to be doing catch-up-a-thon and dive back into my chunky fantasy. Oh, Emily's gone back to her roots. We like that.
Well, I have the end of my summer camp for Everbloom. So it's just, and those are just whatever middle grade books that I haven't finished. And then and mine. And I'm going to at least do one Private Eye in July because I could get to the second book in the Philip Marlowe series. So I'm like, they'll get me to a second book. And I'm going to participate in Chatty from the Mad Chatters Journey-a-thon by reading one book because I can take the magic path and go straight to the city that I need to and just read a middle grade.
There you go.
And so I participated. All right.
Right? Exactly. Cajun says, oh, good. If it doesn't have to be category, I have some UK chiclets that are Christmas themed coming up. Wonderful. Yep. Nice. Anything as long as it's Christmas theme, but one, your prompts are category and everything else.
Category and other.
Everything else. Angel says, easy prompts for Christmas in July.
Yep.
Count me in. Storm and I like easy. We don't do things the hard way here. I'm not talking for Storm. I'm talking for me. I am inherently lazy. Okay.
Well, you know me and like prompts, and like when we were talking about like the summer retro, it's like, should we have prompts or should we just read summer books? Or
Let's just read summer books. There we go.
Read something that looks summery.
It's the summer readathon. And Emily says, I could read the Everyone This Christmas Is. I don't remember the rest of the title. Oh, yeah, from that series. That would be great.
Yeah.
Carmen says, we can buy Panera soup in the deli section of Safeway. Oh, cool.
Okay.
You okay there, Presley? Okay. Emily says, the Olive Garden Italian dressing is good.
Cool.
I have never had it. I don't think I've ever been to the Olive Garden. We don't have them up here. Michelle, I really want to try the all-you-can-eat breadsticks because that just speaks to me on every level.
The breadsticks are the best thing about the Olive Garden to me.
We do have pretty good breadsticks there. Although my favorite was from Fazoli's. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that.
I've heard of them.
But it was like a fast food kind of Italian place or whatever. And they'd come around with their breadsticks and it's like, just put them right here. Put them here. And it's like, we're never going to, and it's before you get your meal. It's like, we're not going to even be hungry by the time our food gets
That's why they do that, right? Yeah. Because it's cheap in a way, right? But they're so good. I'm just a carb junkie. That's my problem.
Yeah, me too.
Michelle says to Storm, yep, I think the soup sold at Walmart tastes pretty much the same. So there you go. And Cajun says Kroger has the Panera soup and it is good. I fall down the rabbit hole of watching these people do like these eating challenges, like going to different, like trying all the best burgers at, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you guys have restaurants that I want to try In-N-Out. I want to try, like all these fast food chains that we don't have up here.
I want to go to New Jersey and do the drive-ins, diners and drives.
Yes.
Because they have all those diners and that's like what they're big known for. And I just want to go from city to city.
Right?
Yeah.
There's one right now that I haven't watched it yet, but it's a guy I follow. His name is Dylan. And he drove the entirety of Route 66 and he stopped at every restaurant and he's doing it day by day. Like he's up to day 4 now. And I'm like, that's just, and then I watched these
66 goes by fairly close to where.
Oh yeah. That's cool. I had a friend who that's what they did for her honeymoon is they motorcycled Route 66. Pretty cool. Nika says, happy Kennedy to you too. Happy day off tomorrow, basically. Nadine says, I've been waiting to read McKenna Lee and Marie Farinella book from the series I started from your category author spotlights. They're Christmas themed and I was waiting for Christmas in July event. Fantastic.
There we go.
There you go. I'm glad I could be of help. Barb says, I have blue scrubs and needles and a red biohazard bin. Barb's set. Barb's got us.
She can film for you and you can use the film.
I don't have the budget to fly Barb out here, unfortunately. This
is why I was like, she can film it and send you a clip and then you'll
this is very low budget. Carmen says my husband
of somebody else.
Yeah. Carmen says my husband's the same way, Tiffany. I think their heads are hollow. She's neither confirming nor denying this statement.
I'm with you, Carmen. I'm with you.
Carmen says, lips, God made them for a reason. Just saying. Carmen's so true. And Cajun says, I have woken up more than one with my Kindle still in my hand. Never. Kim says, I will fall asleep early-ish and then be wide awake around 3 a.m. This is also my problem.
Yeah. I hope Emily doesn't read in bed because she might.
Good Lord. She could legitimately injure herself.
Right?
We're concerned for your safety, Emily, basically. Carmen,
Emily,
some books
we need to ask you about the 2 black eyes. We don't believe. No. It really dropped Wind in Time on my head.
That's what I'm going to call my pirate book that I've been reading since January. It's a project.
It's a project book. That's right.
It's a romance that I don't really understand why it's almost like 500 pages.
A lot of romances that are 500 pages. I don't understand why they're 500 pages. I'm talking to you, Megan Quinn.
Yeah, it's funny because we talk about them, but it's like there were a ton of those back in the day too.
That was the thing, right?
I have a lot of those thick, chunky retro.
And women would read through these things. Like my aunt would read through them in days. Like they were your
I used to.
when you were commuting to work. They were your bus. You know what I mean?
I feel like they were people read them, and they were more common because I don't think the publishing could publish the amount of books that they can now. Yeah. So someone might have only published one book in a good length of time. So they were going to make it like 4 books all smashed into one, or something. Not literal 4 books.
Yeah, we get new releases. Oh, there's 20 new releases this week. Where you're right, Tiffany. Back in the day, it might have been, there's 2 new releases this week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not as much choice as we have now, basically.
Right.
So you're not wrong, I don't think. Yeah. And Sarah says, Ambi, I am. We'll do one more comment and then we'll jump into some sprints for a little bit. 19 says, Sarah, aren't there any category books with a killer bear or something like that? You know what? There is a love-inspired suspense that Steve and I made fun of on a live show that has a grizzly bear on the cover. That might fit.
You can be
how fun would it be to have every single prompt be a category as close as I can get? Oh, that might be fun. I might have to get creative. Oh, I got some thinking to do. All right. We shall jump into a sprint, everybody. We'll go to 10-2, and then we'll come back and finish off the comments, okay? All right. Happy reading, everybody.
Happy reading.
So how did everybody do?
I
Yeah.
finished.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
We must celebrate.
That
We
last
must
story was
celebrate.
strange.
So I got distracted. I was watching homework, but then I got distracted because I saw, and I know Sarah's going to be like, I don't care. But do you guys know the Sphere in Vegas?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the Sphere, August 28th through like March, is going to do the Wizard of Oz. And so I was talking about Kevin.
Oh, that's cool.
Kevin about going and seeing it. I would. I really,
Well, that sounds like very cool. That'd be a cool thing to see.
Anyways, they're doing it from August 28th to like the middle of March. But it looks incredible. And I mean, the Sphere in general looks incredible. So I think we're going to try to pick a time. Kevin says, of course, try to see if the Blues are playing Golden Nuggets. Golden Knights, and we'll go out and we'll do both. I'm like, done.
It's so funny because just as I was making my dinner, when Garrett and I got talking, and he goes, because his 50th is coming up in January, right? Because I made the comment, I can't believe we're already halfway through the year, and his birthday's the end of January. He's like 7 months to my birthday, blah, 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 blah. And I said, we really got to put some money away and plan something, because it's a big birthday, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he goes, let's go to Vegas. I'm like, yeah, Vegas sounds great. I'm thinking, we're going to go to maybe a show he's like, yeah, we'll see if the Knights are playing. So if y'all want to meet up at the end of January, Tiffany, we can all go together at the end. We'll go and all meet up at the end of January, and we'll go watch a hockey game, and
Yes. Yes.
I'll sit there reading a book, and the three of y'all can enjoy the hockey game.
Oh my goodness.
I'll read a hockey romance if that's okay. Ambi says, I love Olive Garden. I've heard of them, but I've never had a Fazoli. And Kim says, I loved Fazoli. Ours closed.
Ours closed too.
Yeah, we liked Fazoli's.
And Kristen says, In-N-Out isn't worth the hype. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of these things would just be like hype. You know what I mean?
And I think that, like, I've seen a lot of people do some, like, versions of In-N-Out burgers, like, online. So I'm like, maybe I should just do one of those. And and then I'd be like, I've had an In-N-Out burger.
I just want to go back because I've been to Sonic, but I only ever got the cherry limeade, which was really, really good. And I want another one. Emily says, Route 66 runs through my town. That's very cool.
Oh,
and Amy says, I like Red Robin.
I've never been there either. There's one in Springfield, but it's not like going like an hour or so just to eat them.
Right? Yeah. And you're not sure if you're going to like it or, Yeah. Yeah, we have one had one in Niagara Falls, Canada. And Garrett and I went one time because it was American franchise. We'd never been to one before. I don't remember the food. That should tell you something. And Angel says, oh, my state has a lot of Route 66. Oklahoma.
I will only travel an hour or so to go to Lambert's because it's home of the throw rolls. They throw rolls at you.
They do.
You're kidding me. That's a thing?
Yeah,
they do.
You're like, they come through with the rolls. You hold your hand up and
that's hilarious. Oh, my goodness.
That's actually like their slogan is home of the thrown rolls.
America is a great place.
Yeah, and it's really fun because people will try to get you to hit their friends or somebody. They'll hold their hand in face,
of course,
and they're like,
well, and especially I'm not going to drive an hour for fast food. I mean,
well, that's why, like Garrett and I, when we eventually do go back to the U.S., the only reason we're not going is because of the dollar. It's just too expensive right now. But eventually we have, like, we want to go to Sonic. We want to go to Steak and Shake. We want to go, like, if we're going to be there anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Are you going to travel? It's like, what state am I going to go to? Which one has the most really cool fast food places in a row?
Precisely. That is a thing. Yes. Yes. Liz, I'm loving your new profile picture. That is lovely.
Yeah, it is a nice pic.
Pat, I'm addicted to the Alaskan Canine books. I have read all the Love Inspired Suspense. Any suggestions to find more? for the Alaskan Canine. I think they're only part of the Love Inspired Suspense, but I think they have a new Dakota series. There's tons of the canine books.
I was gonna say there's a lot of canine ones, and there's probably a lot of them on Hoopla. I don't know if you.
Yep, Elizabeth would be the one to ask over at Lizzie Falo's book. She is the expert on the canine books.
Yeah, I think I have one of those over there somewhere.
I've got a lot of them, but I mean, there's so many different series.
Cool.
Ambi says I'll be participating in the deck of TBR-a-thon. And Emily says, I read in bed, but I do not read the chunky fantasy books in bed. Because we were concerned for your safeties, for your safety. Ambi says, it's an epic romance. And Kristen says, Megan Quinn books, preach. Yes, her books are delightful, but far too long. Carmen says, but they could publish plenty of short garbage books for men back in those days.
Hey, I like those books.
Nothing wrong with those.
And the Executioner books, there's one of
right. There was like 300 of those or something like that, right?
Well, technically, I think there's around like 600 of those because there was
Good
like
Lord.
some spin-off like ones of Mac Bolan, but they're all together. They're like, Well, I mean, like maybe 40 of them. I don't think I'll ever get
those and those like westerns and the basically
the Long
they were category
Arm and the Jake Logans and the Gunsmiths.
They were just category romances for men, if you will. You know,
really, they were. It was the men's adventure novels was definitely
100%.
There's like Hawk and I have quite a few of them that
I think that's one of the prompts for Garb August. So I might pick up one of those. Like go to my thrift store and see if I can't find something that might fit. So.
Well, and I know if you want to try an Executioner book, that the audios are on Hoopla. I don't know if they're on your Hoopla. But
I'll have to check. Okay, thank you. My dad is somewhere smiling about this. I can tell you that right now. Jill says, hi, ladies. Hello, Jill. And Liz says, I'm going to finish The Babysitter tonight. Excellent. Barbara, I love Dylan. We need to get a big RV or two and do Route 66. Or Ryan Trahan doing 50 states in 50 days. Yes. Well, that's the one guy I watched. He goes by Sir Yacht on YouTube, but he swam in all 5 Great Lakes in a single day.
Wow.
There's a way you can do the route to hit them all. And yeah, it was pretty cool. He had to drive through parts of Canada to do Ambi says also people didn't have smartphones streaming and a lot of people didn't even own a computer. So they had a lot more time for reading. This is also very true.
That's true.
Yep, I've gotten to the point now because I scroll so much on my phone that I've actually put limits on stuff like Instagram.
I used to be able to read a Stephen King book in a couple of days whenever I was a teenager when I was reading them. So
Right. I know. Kim says, my mama read chunky historical romances. The ye old.
My mama did too. That's where I got into them from.
My grandmother did.
Hers when I was around 16. It's like, what's this now?
Yep.
Well, not my mom, but my grandma.
Anytime I think of those old bodice rippers, I think of my aunt, 100%. And Liz says, what's the ambiance called? That was just a 4K Canada, and it was just like shots of Canada from like the air. I just thought it was pretty cool.
It was pretty.
Mm-hmm. I sometimes put it on my own TV, like when I'm just sitting around, you know. And she said she finished her book. Yay!
Oh, yay! Oh, we shall celebrate.
Well done, Liz. All these finishes for the end of the month. And she says, have a good night. Thanks, guys, for the sprints. Thank you for joining. And Cajun got to 81%. Yay to Stormy. Angela got to 58%. Jill says, I'm almost done with Fragile Designs. It's so good.
Oh, nice.
And Angela says, yay, congrats, Storm. Kristen says, I have 4 hours left in my audiobook. Oh, you can do it, hopefully, before... maybe not. Well, it depends on what time zone you're in. Ambi says, I read 1.25 pages. Nina says, I got to 58%. Kim says, more of my postcard book. Wonderful. Carmen says, what fun, Tiffany. Do it. Mm-hmm. And Emily says, no reading done. Working, getting caught up on my reading planner. Fantastic. Emily says, I love the cherry limeade. Sonic is like 2 minutes from my house, so it's dangerous. No doubt. Nadine says, Red Robin, unlimited fries. Unlimited fries. Excellent.
We used to go to Sonic like every Friday. That That's Dad's cooking. Like growing up, Dad's cooking was on Friday because he gets paid, and then he would take us out to eat. Mom did all the cooking any other day, and on Friday he took us McDonald's when I was little bitty, and then when we got to be like teenagers and stuff, then it was like Sonic.
That's cool. That's cool. Carmen says, I love throw rolls. I throw rolls. Kim says, I love Lambert's. Ambi says, I like that they have the bottomless fries at Red Robin.
And I mean, Lambert's it's a little pricey, but I tell you, you get a lot of food too. And then you get like all the rolls you want, just throw your hand. And then they have all these sides that they come around and like give you these sides. And it's like unlimited like side stuff too and everything. But yeah, you get a salad and it comes in like a bread bowl that's like huge. And it's like, I can never even finish the salad whenever I just eat a salad there. It's like, it's huge.
Wow. Oh, I'm getting hungry. I do really want to try Five Guys burgers, but I can't justify the price. Yeah. They seem to be really expensive. So
I've been there one time.
I've never been there.
Yeah,
and it was okay, but I
don't know. Kim says, yes, the best part of Red Robin is the unlimited steak fries. And Ambi says, to me, Steak and Shake isn't worth it. They were to die for. I've eaten there once in Chicago and it was so good. Maybe I just happened to get a really good, I don't know. Because watch, I'll go back with this great thing in mind. I'll be like completely disappointed. You know what I mean?
Is the Steak and Shake, are they the ones that have like the little toothpick fries?
Yeah.
I think so, yes.
Okay, yeah. That's not that bad. I don't know if it's still in Joplin or not, but they had one and we would go there, and I was always there where all the weirdos were, like 2:00 in the morning. But we would, But yeah, I remember that's the one thing I always complained about is like, can we get some actual fries?
Yeah.
What is this toothpick thing?
See, I like that's right. Yeah. And Liz says, thank you. I started wearing makeup, but you looked lovely. I almost said it. You look lovely regardless. Ambi says, I like the garlic fries. So good.
That sounds good.
Michelle says, Sarah, having lived in several states and being from Ohio, I can tell you that the best food I've ever had is in around Cincinnati. You have to try Skyline Chili or Big Boy Fishes. Okay, thank you. I will definitely try that. Thank you. Eventually. And Kay says, thanks for hosting today, Sarah. Tiffany, Stormy, have a beautiful evening. Sleep sweet and take well. Remember to hydrate, feed thyself, check the laundry, take meds, stretch, and show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you sub and ring the bell, so hopefully you get notified. Thank you, Kay.
I want to go and visit Lee so that she can take me to all the diners and
Right?
Exactly.
I feel like, she'd probably know like the best places.
She'd know the real good one. That's what you want to do is if you're going somewhere, you want to go with a local because you're going to get the places that aren't on the beaten path. You know what I mean? Like if y'all came up here, I'd be like, no, we've got to go here, and try this place. Pat says, going to tell y'all good night. I started reading Hot Combat and had to put it down. I'm going to the hospital tomorrow morning for blood work. Happy reading and take care. You as well, Pat.
Good night. Take care.
Angel says, I'll be finishing my book tonight. Good night, everyone. Thanks for the sprints. Thank you for joining. Carmen says, good night to Pat. Annie says, I took a piece of old Route 66 road in Nevada. We drove for over an hour without seeing another car, and I wanted a souvenir to remember it. Kay says, yay for all the finishing and all the progress. Absolutely. And Jill says, I've got 36 pages left. You can finish it, Jill.
Ooh, very close, Jill.
Anita says, congrats to everyone who finished their book. Yes. Amy says, I wish I had a Sonic. Kat says, I made it to page 260 of 288 in my book, Never Let Me Go, by Kuzu Ishiguro, maybe? Almost finished. You're so close. You'll get it done. Anita says, thank you for the sprints and have a great week. Be safe, everyone. Hope to see you all soon. You as well. Cajun says, Shlomo loved the tots from Sonic, so I would get those when I went. That's what I want are tater tots. I have an addiction to tater tots.
I like Sonic's onion rings. I'm usually a fry person, but I really do like their onion rings. They're pretty top notch.
We had briefly, I think it was around here for like a year and a half. We had a Buffalo Wild Wing place. Oh yeah, they did wings and stuff, but they had tater tots, and I loved that. And then they went away, and now I can't.
And my dad would get along with the tater tot. He loves
this is how Canadian we are. There's a Canadian chain of pizza places called Pizza Pizza, and they do a tater tot poutine. And I'm like, all right, stay in your lane. Just let's not get crazy. And Amby says, I don't think Five Guys is worth it either. It just seems very expensive, but I do want to try it. And here's Kim. Personally, Five Guys has the best hamburgers. That's what Garrett and I were talking about. We're like, we want to go to a place that's got like a proper, like a hamburger that you get at a cookout, like a proper, nice, thick, not like a McDonald's, like thin. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like a burger, right?
I remember when I went to Chicago for the first time, and we went to a like restaurant, and I looked at the prices of the burgers, and I was like, and I'm like, I was on a limited budget too, and I was like, I took pictures of it to show everybody at home. Because I was like, the burger and fries, like, and now it's like, I'd hate to see what it's like there now, because I feel like the price it was then in like 2016 is what they are now.
Right? Right? Good Lord. Oh my gosh. Yeah, takeout is not, it used to be the cheaper, but it's not anymore. Takeout's gotten very expensive. Emily says, I hate Steak and Shake fries. Too skinny. The original Steak and Shake was in the town I'm in, but they tore it down. She says, the fries are what I could do without. That's fair. Yeah. Carmen says, just give me a Diet Coke and onion rings and I can be happy almost anywhere. Carmen is easy to please.
Yes, I like onion rings too.
Barb says Red Robin has unlimited broccoli. Not as fun as fries, but nutritious.
Well, there you go. You've got to be, both sides. Somebody can have their unlimited broccoli and you can eat your unlimited fries.
That's right. That's right. And glower at the people who
are I would be like, could I have unlimited broccoli and fries? Can I switch out after I get tired of broccoli? Could I have a few fries now?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Everything in moderation. Kristen says, thanks for the sprints. Thank you for joining. Absolutely. And Michelle's asking, where's Lee, by the way? Lee is being better than the rest of us, and she is
stretching her body in ways.
That's right.
God didn't intend, I'm sure. No, just kidding.
She's doing Pilates.
I hope she's enjoying it. I really, really do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's where she is tonight. And Angela says, good night, everyone. Thanks for the sprints. Thank you very much. Kat says, come to Louisiana, Stormy. Lots of yummy food.
Oh, I would love to. I bet.
Oh, yeah.
I want to try. Emily says, thank you for the sprints. Thank you for joining. Michelle says, have a beautiful rest of your week and stay safe. Everybody as well. Kat says, I love tater tots. I really love chili cheese fries, and my husband makes them with shoestring fries. Oh, yum.
Kevin's a tater tot person.
Amby says, you should come to Georgia and go to the Varsity. It's in Atlanta, like an hour from me. In my town, we have a barbecue place called Spray Benny's, or Berries, excuse me. That's cool. I like Five Guys. Huge portions, says Jill.
Oh.
See, that my husband could get behind. We have a burger place up here called Burger Priest, and they're quite pricey as well. They only had one location downtown. They've got a franchise. They franchise it.
If they're pricey and the portions are big, it's not quite as bad as if they're pricey and you get like this little bitty.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of foodie where I want to go to like some fancy place like a Michelin star and you're getting like your portion is like this. No. Give me like, I want to take stuff home with me. You know what I mean? I want dinner and lunch for the next day is what I want. And he says, most steakhouses have good burgers since they are often sirloin. Oh, that's a great idea.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. And Kat says, we have a place in the South Shore called Desi Vega, and they have delicious thick burgers and yummalicious shakes. Yum.
My friends always make fun of me because I'm not a steak person. Now, ground steak or whatever, like a steak burger is different. But I'm not really a steak person. So when we go to steakhouses and stuff like that, I always order a burger and fries. And they're like, we're at a steak place and you're getting a burger and fries. You can get that at McDonald's.
many years ago, like well before I met my husband. I mean, we're probably going back 25 years ago. I was in my mid-20s and I was dating this guy, and it was over New Year's, and he actually took me to Niagara-on-the-Lake for New Year's Eve, right? Hotel. We went to this place called The Keg. It's this big steakhouse here. It's very expensive, right? So we get to this steakhouse for dinner, and it's like we're all dressed up and all fancy, all this stuff, right? And I'm like, do you have anything other than steak on the menu? I'm like looking for the chicken or the kids' portion or something.
Yeah.
Dress me up, you can't take me anywhere. I would have been just as happy going to a barn girl. Kim, I love onion rings. Yes. Yeah. Me too, Kim. And a heart from Carmen. Kim says to Ambi, I love the varsity. And Barbara says, we call tater tots tater children. Kat says, thanks for the sprints, lovely ladies. Have a wonderful week ahead, friends. You as well. And happy 4th of July to all my American friends on Friday. I hope you guys all have a safe and
we're already getting the fireworks. Poor little Dresden.
Oh, yeah. And Carmen says, good night to Kat. Good night, Kat. Kim says, you got a big bag of fries at Five Guys. Thanks for the sprints. Thank you, Carmen. Night to Carmen. Ambi says, the onion rings at the varsity are to die for. Crochet Mima. My local steakhouse has the best burgers and fries, and I do takeout cheaper than McDonald's, really.
There's this one place that's called Iggy's, and the only time we ever go there is if I can talk that into going like to the Finicky Fox, which is a thrift store in the town that Iggy's is in, because we don't get up that way very often. And it's got, like, to me, like the best like onion rings. And they're just like a pile of them with just a really light kind of breading, and they're not even round. They're just like strings of like onion rings. And that's what we get. Yeah.
Still sounds good.
I mean, all this now tomorrow night for dinner, I just want a burger and onion rings and gravy. Like, that just sounds delicious. And Kim says, I do like a good juicy steak. There you go. All right, ladies, I know we discussed this last night, but does anyone want to share anything they've got coming up on their channel in case there's people here who were not here yesterday on Tiffany's channel? You got anything good coming up, Tiff?
Yesterday I had the yesterday I had the camping box from Cozy Books Corner. It's a Cozy Mystery subscription box. And then a couple days from now, I have my SAS update for the first half of the year. Can you believe that?
I know.
No, it's crazy.
Insane.
How about you all?
Stormy.
I have my 2 on Tuesday, and I just put a book haul up today. So
yay!
It's I was looking at the clock. I'm like, by now it should be up for everybody. So, and I still need to make my July TBR.
Mine's July TBR is going to go up tomorrow. I'm going to work on it tonight. Because I don't have to get up early in the morning to go to work, I'm going to relax with my laptop and watch some BookTube or whatever and figure out what I'm reading in July. I did during the last sprint go into the room and pick the 3 Christmas books.
There you go. Nice.
So we will share those tomorrow. But anyway, Ambi says, have you ever had Dairy? Oh yeah, we have Dairy Queen up here. We've had, it used to only be open like in the summer, right? But now it's open all year round. We have the
I have a question while we're here. Is tomorrow when we do TBRs or whatever we do TBRs, is that going to be the July announcement for the Christmas?
Let's hold it off till the end of the I'll message you in Discord.
Okay.
If you want to record it, but let's post it later in the week. Like, let's post it on Thursday or whatever, some other day later in the week. I don't want to double up. We'll do it separate. Is that okay with you?
That's fine. I was just wondering.
Okay, I'll message you in Discord just to go over the details one more time, and then you can film it tomorrow, because I'm probably going to film it tomorrow too. I'll have to hunt out my Santa hat. I think Garrett was wearing it the other day. Okay, that sounded weird than it actually was. All right.
On that note,
thank you all so much for joining. Everybody have a great night. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Stormy. Take care, everybody. Happy reading, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.